Hello lovely soulmates, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this video. Welcome and welcome. It's been a long time and I'm glad we are back and better. So in this video we're going to make this. Yes, this is a bubu dress with a design neckline, and in this particular dress I used a lace for my design. You can use any fabric of your choice. Okay, now I'm folding the fabric into 4 places. So from this folding, I'm going to get the front part and the back part at the same time. So you're folding into 4 places. You fold once, one, then you fold the second time, two. Okay, so that when you separate this piece at the end of the day, you're going to have one plain part for the back and another part for the front. So that's what I did so that I can get the two at the same time. I don't need to mark it differently at different times. So right here I'm getting the length I want to work with, and there is a stain on the fabric I want this design fabric to cover up. So I'm just checking to make sure that at that point it can be able to do that. All right, so from this upper part is where I'm going to cut out the excesses. So I measured the length I want for the dress and added my seam allowance down there. That's my hemming allowance down there. So coming up here, I am going to remove the excesses. But wait, I want to show you something. Okay. All right, I did a sketch and that's it. That's how the neckline will look like. But I already showed you in the picture earlier, so no problem. No problem. Let's just continue. So on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark a neckline width of 3 inches, and I will notch that point, okay, a deep notch, then come down by 2 inches, okay, and create a curve. You can make that curve a square if you prefer. That will serve as my back neckline. Now on the side, you're going to create your notch also for the sleeve area, okay, that will indicate where the sleeve will stop. Now I'm just trimming the side to make them equal. All right, okay, so I'll make sure that my notches are visible. So I told you that marking we did on the neckline is for the back, right? So I'm going to take out one piece of the fabric now and cut out that of the back. Okay, so now we open up the fabric. You open it up. We're going to create the neckline for the front. So on the left side I'll mark 5 inches, and on the right side I'm marking about 9 inches. You can make these markings to suit your own taste, okay, or your own choice. So because the neckline is asymmetric in nature, that's why we opened up the fabric to create that neckline. And also I did the marking, one part is smaller than one part to create that neckline, and I used a curve to connect the lines. It's not a must use a curve. You can make it straight the way you want. So I tried reducing the neckline, okay, and here I am just matching up to see how it will look like if I exceeded where my design fabric will lay. And now I am just squaring up the neckline to make sure that neckline of the front matches with that of the back, okay, because I already opened up that of the back. Okay, so at this point we are done marking that of the front. I'm going to go ahead now to cut. So at this point we are done. Let's get into work of the sewing. So I went ahead to add air stay or paper stay to the lining part I'll be using to turn that lace later. Okay, so you bring your fabric, the front and the back. You want to join them at the shoulder line, so you go ahead and join them at the shoulder line with half inch seam allowance. Okay, so at this point I'm done joining them. So you can see that I went ahead to also weave the edges, as I used my serger to weave them. All right, So the notch I have there is about 1/2 inch notch. This will allow me to fold in that point that will serve as my sleeve. Okay, so after folding it in, I also went ahead to add my stay or paper stay or whichever interface you have. Okay, I added it from the front. Okay, you want to add it from the front, that's the right side of your fabric. You want to make sure you add it, then you crease the center point using your iron. You crease it. When I say crease, I mean making a line at the center point. So at this point, I went ahead first to laminate the lace fabric using my hemming gun. So I laminated the lace fabric and the lining together. So if you're using a plain fabric, just one fabric for your design, not a lace, then you don't need to do this. You don't need to laminate. You don't need to join two fabrics together. So all you just have to do is use your interface on the fabric that you want to use, okay, to give it that structure. So for me, I'm doing this because I want my lining and the lace itself to stick together, to be one. So after placing that, I placed my lace on top of it. Then I wet a lining, just normal lining. I place it on top. So I'm doing this so I'll have a steam effect, because my iron is not a steam iron. So doing it this way, I'll be able to fuse these two fabrics together with high heat and without worrying that maybe the lace will get burned or something like that. Okay, so I did that successfully and it came out well. All right, so guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly hit the subscribe button right now and give this video a thumbs up so that more people will get to see it. Also, turn on the notification bell if you haven't done so that you'll be the first to get notified as we are back bigger and better to serve you and only you. Yes, yeah, so I'm done now. So the next phase is to create this design that we are here for. So you have to turn to the wrong side of your fabric. Yes, the wrong side of the main fabric. Then you want to place the fabric, right? That's the designing fabric now. Crease to crease. The line you crease to the line you crease on the fabric, the main fabric. Okay, and you want to place it to cover up the back neckline and the front neckline at the same time. But a smaller portion goes to the back neckline at this point. Okay, so you can see the right side of the designing fabric is facing the wrong side of the main fabric. So you go ahead and pin this down. You pin it down carefully. Okay, so as you pin down, make sure the crease lines are facing each other too. All right, so I turned to the right side now. Yes, this is the right side. Then I'm going to go ahead to stitch all around that neckline. Okay, so because my interface in there is transparent, I could be able to see the seam allowance that I was working with. So that was how it's easy for me to sew. So I'm going ahead now to cut out the interfacing that I added. Yes, so you want to cut and make sure you trim very low, very very close to your seam lines, but do not cut your seam lines. Okay, so when you have trimmed to minimum as possible, you're going to start notching. You're going to notch all around. You're going to notch all around. Okay, so I'm doing the notch. It's kind of hard for the scissors to do the notch, so I have to apply pressure. Can you see that? Okay, So when you get to that end, you want to notch into that V line there. All right. So I'm done notching. I just put it on my head to make sure it's passing through the head. Yes, it does. And now I am moving the pin, and this is what you do. You turn it to the right side now. Can you see? So when you turn it out this way, it's very, very easy for you to work with. So you can go ahead to use your iron. Okay, you can see I'm still notching some areas. So those areas, they are not relaxing the way I want them to be. So I still have to notch very, very close to each other there. So you can go ahead to iron this down. But what I did was I top stitched on the seam allowance, so as to have a very neat outcome. So just go ahead and top stitch rather, all around the neckline. Top stitch all around the neckline, and I gave it a good press and also tuck in the edges so that I'll easily sew it down. So I still took it to the sewing machine, I sewed it down, and this is our final result here. Okay, after the neckline has been fixed, this is what we have. Yes, and this is looking so good already. Like, we're not done with the dress and it's looking this good. So let's flip over. Let's see how the back is. Yeah, I can see the wrong side. Very neat. Very, very neat. Can you see that? Okay. So that's how yours should be looking. So let's go ahead to close up. So I've already attached the pockets. So the part where the pockets will lie, I've already attached the piece of clothing for it because I don't have anything left from this fabric. So from the sleeve area, you're going to sew all the way. So let me show you that. So if you attach pockets just like I did, no problem. You can still decide not to attach pockets to yours. You can also do a patch pocket if that's what you prefer too. So you're going to go from the sleeve area, you're going to stitch to the pocket, down and down to the hemline. So you do that for both sides and you are done. Yeah, you're done. So I've done that here. So what's left now is the hemline. So I'm going to use my 2 inches and fold in the hemline also. And that'll be all. So let's see how the front looks like. Wow, isn't that gorgeous? So you can add this to your collection too, and let me know in the comment section if you do. So thank you so much for staying with me in the end of this video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.